And then again, go after that parathyroid. You remember, face problems go into the parathyroid gland and pop it up. Could be a pituitary. That's where iridology will come in and help you. But I would still go after that parathyroid so you have calcium utilization. Therefore, you can strengthen the connective tissue of the vascular walls, and then those capillaries will get strong and strengthen up, and then they'll disappear. And that, I would say, would be very, very important because of the fear here of an aneurysm in the future. You know, you start getting too much of a prolapsus, your walls weaken there, and if you don't fix the kidney and adrenals, blood pressure will mount and someday popo. Kind of like people having aortic aneurysms from chemo, putting right into the aorta. And once you pop an aorta, chances of surviving that are nil, next to none. Some do, but not many. So I'd really hit that parathyroid, my friend, and really go after that. Strengthen my body. But always remember, it's because you're losing calcium. For what reason? Why would the body lose calcium? Why would I have to borrow calcium out of structure for anything? That's right, acidosis. But this is in the blood, so you have put too much acids in the blood in some manner. Whether you smoked or whatever you did, you brought too much acids into the blood. So you want to rectify that. Get up on those fruits, berries. Matter of fact, fruits, berries are incredible for vascular and blood issues. Not so much vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are naturally thinning of the blood. Keeps the blood from clotting. High flavonoids. Strengthens the capillary walls. Of course, popping up the parathyroid is essential too. Owen, my man. Let me see. Two general. Oh, yeah. You had 2 surgeries, huh? About 7 and 9 years ago. Already had wrecked body getting them. Sure didn't help my adrenal. Yeah. Isn't it amazing how we can go back and now we can identify these things? I love this. You know, you guys are getting knowledged up, and I tell you, this isn't out there anywhere. So you're doing really well, Owen. I really am proud of you. Appreciate all your great comments, my friend. Love you too, bro. Yeah, thanks for the comment on that, Owen, about the people. I appreciate you all for passing this around, not just for my sake, but all of our sakes, and for the sake of this planet, you know. Even though, on one side, realize I see this totally as the dream of the Supreme Being and the playground of soul, and the reality isn't here. But at the same time, you know, having a fun time and having joy in your life is better than having pain and suffering, you know. So I do it for the joy of it. Peace, Pilgrim. Thank you, Owen. Arnold Ehret. You betcha, man. I love Arnold Ehret. I don't know. You know, he had his things and his thoughts on that. For those with low blood sugar, you're going to want to have a lot, fruit meals more often in the day, off and on all through the day. I don't really... There's no question that if you separate... The longer you separate time between foods, the more fasting state you're kind of in. Yes, and you'll feel that. You'll feel that, and that's where fasting came in. If no one's ever fasted on water, fast on water for a few days. Get the sense about that. And then, do your fruits off and on throughout the day, and then separate that time between them. Get a sense of what fasting is and the power fasting has to detoxify you. That's the top of the mountain. But, fruit fasting is pretty darn good, too. That's right up there. And I like your lemon picture here. Really cool stuff. And see how bright that is? Lemons. I mean, if you just walk to the produce section and you just observe the beauty, the colors that emanate from that section, and then you look at the rest of the grocery store, or you go over and you look at your meat section and you look at the color. Oops, there's no color there. Matter of fact, that's looking red, nasty, necrotic, dying. Ugh. But most makes me throw up. But if you're going over to the produce section, it's like, look at the beauty. Look at the energy. Feel the energy of the produce section. I walk into the produce section, I start hugging everything, because it starts hugging me back. Because you feel that energy there, that loving energy of the fruits and the berries and the melons and the veggies. They just love. But look at the power of lemons. That's the power of your picture alone. It's like, wow, powerful. I love that. So does your body. So, you can play with that however you want. I respected Arnold Ehret tremendously. I particularly like his stuttering case. Remember the case where the man was stuttering, and they were walking on the beach on a grape fast, and he started choking, and he coughed up a huge wad of mucus and never stuttered again. So I just, when you look at this, and he's showed over and over and over the mucus, the congestion, the lymph system, as being the primal cause of 99% of most things. And I concur with that completely. I mean, go back to that period of time, and this guy looked vital. And yes, he did the do. Bone deformities, bowed legs and the like, poofy hair. That's a good name. You know what? I've never had experience with that, only in one case. I will say this, it just came to my mind. I had a nurse. She was a nurse anesthetist. Oh, yeah. But she was an older lady. She came into my office bow-legged like this, right? She was bow-legged like she'd been on a horse on the prairie for 2 or 3 years. And I looked at her and I said, let me guess, arthritis, right? She said, oh, yeah. And I said, you've been taking calcium supplements, haven't you? And she said, how'd you know? And I said, because it stoned you up like a rock. I will tell you this, in that case, I had her one leg straight and the other leg almost straight in probably 6 months. But I will say this, that was from arthritis. Now, I believe totally that your legs will straighten themselves out. Probably going to take you a year, but I would set that as my goal, but I would really stay with a high level of raw. You can pump some greens, probably wouldn't hurt you, especially alfalfa, wheatgrass, whatever you like there. Parsley for sure. Move your lymph, get your adrenals up, make sure your parathyroid and your pituitary, your endocrine glands are up there. This is a case where I'd be really considering parathyroid tissue issues and the inability to utilize calcium properly, therefore you didn't grow properly. And I would really pull myself in line that way, and I think you have a 98% chance of pulling those babies straight. I've told you cases where the spine and the leg fractures pulled them straight, and these were fractures healed in place, pulled itself straight. Oh, amazing stuff. I mean, just freaked me right out. I've realized the power of the body, and this person lives in Florida. That's great. So poofy hair, yeah, head on. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Well, here's lemon again. 1, 3, 2, nice. I thought it was 1, 2. No, nothing. Additionally, let me see here. I'm getting hit as hard as I like to in my detox. Well, you got your lemon picture. That's a strong one right there. Additionally, to your herbal program, and grapes, lemons, and apples, I started to use your heal tea orally without any water. Chew and swallow. Woohoo! You know what? However you want to get them down. I mean, ultimately, the animals eat them raw. If I could get them to you raw, boy, that'd be a butt kicking. But can't do that, But still, yeah, you can do that. You've got a lot of guts there, my friend. But don't overdo it, You're on a very strong program right now. A lot of people will go along, and they don't think they're getting anywhere. They'll go along, the body's doing well, they're feeling better, no healing crisis, and they're doing good, no problem. And then wham! And man, you get your butt kicked, because everything is like breaks loose at once, and wham! So that'll happen to some of you, so don't freak out. So don't think nothing's not getting done with any of you, Kelly or any of you guys. Let me tell you, you're the most powerful thing. You'll see, and just hang in there. Your body takes time to correspond, relate, get itself going. Will the kidneys only filter on when on a very deep phase, lemons, fast, etc., or will it come inevitable? Your kidneys, once they start filtering, and I think I mentioned this a couple days ago in a video, once your kidneys start filtering, they'll filtering, and you will always see sediment in it. I mean, if you drink too much water, okay, you might thin that out a bit, but you should always see sediment in the urine to a certain extent. At least I try to, because it's just important that you do, or you're not filtering. This question was Katrina. The EBV, I think I did address that. They are the right ounces to take. Well, these tinctures, you take a whole dropper full. That's about 120 drops. Richard Schultz thinks 45 is enough. I'm going to 120, and some of my people double dip. I double dip, but only, that's just me. I had a 700-pound man once, and he was on 4 to 6 dropperfuls of each formula a day. Very expensive on him and everything else, poor guy. But we helped him, and, yeah, so, we do all we can helping. I went into bankruptcy when helping people so much. I was working with several quads at one time, just a ton of people, and I went down. Couldn't help them. I went down myself financially. So, we do try to help for those that don't believe it. We do. Lymphatic system 3, real strong. That's a real strong puller there. Kidney and bladder 1. If you feel like your lymph nodes are swelling with lymphatic system 3, kick up the kidney 1, because that lymph 3, Katrina, real strong, powerful lymph mover. So know that. But that's a pretty good take right there. Absolutely, that's a good draw right there. You could take parasitum if you wanted to, virals or anything, but really you're dealing with the culturing medium, and your focus is pretty good there. If you need to kick it up, go 2 kidneys and 2 lymphatics, one capsule, lymphatic 1 capsule, and then do your lymph system 3, lymph system 4. Play with them because they're all different. The lymph system 3, very powerful. Lymph node 2, basically kind of a black salve in tincture form, real strong. In capsule form, remember we talked about a lot of people are getting really nauseated. Too strong in capsule form. Really powerful stuff. But you know what? When you have tumors and cancer and you want to get healthy, I don't mess around. Our health programs get stricter and more involved. The sicker and the more near death you are. There's no question I'm going to kick it up another notch. I don't know what to say, Appreciate all your comments, guys. Eagle Hearts on, man. Good, got beautiful smiles, you guys. Good guys. So keep it up. Let me see here. This is an important one. There's a boy in England called Harry. Harry Potter. No, that's not Harry Potter. He's 11 years old and has an inoperable brain tumor. This is an important one. He had an operation to remove some of it on August 10th and hasn't woken up yet. If he's got a feeding tube, you can get this stuff in him. If you can get the surgeon and everybody to agree on it, you can get these herbs up his feeding tube. In the past 12 weeks, he had 2 more brain operations, thrombosis on the brain, chemo, blood transfusion, all white unconsciousness, all while unconscious. Now doctors say that if there's no improvement in 5 days, nothing more can be done for him. I just read his story and immediately thought of you. Well, you know what? They're going to kill him. There's no question. But they're doing what they think's right. I wouldn't be putting chemo down up that tube. I'd be doing herbs up that tube and pull this body back into a state of health while he's unconscious and try to get that soul to stay. You're going to have to get his little body healthy for the soul to think it's even worth it to stay there. So really, you want to really heal. This is a lymphatic problem. It doesn't surprise me at all. We have a ton of brain cancers in even 2- and 3-year-olds. We've talked about this a lot, and this just reinstates this, and you have to understand this. We're in serious lymphatic and kidney and adrenal trouble in the children. Serious trouble. Look at St. Jude. Look at these children cancer hospitals. They're full of them. They're out of their league. They have no idea how to get these kids back to a state of health.